hit this button. We're officially recording in Zoom. Hello, if you're watching later on the replay. All right, so let's hit share my screen so you guys can see this on the screen. And I'm going to be kind of multitasking. So I've got my screen here and I've got my other screen here, my second screen. So I'm going to be looking here to make sure that I catch all of your questions or anything like that. So if you guys have questions, feel free to put those in the chat. And we're going to try to do those in real time as much as possible. So, all right, awesome. So let me dig into my favorite things. And I want to kind of share a little bit of a story of why we do Katie's favorite things. So some of you have heard this story. I want to kind of rewind you a little bit back to 2011, which sounds like a million years ago, but 2011, I had this dream of going to the Oprah show. And if you remember, if you know, Oprah back in the day was, the queen of afternoon TV. I had wanted to get tickets to her show forever. And I remember at the time, so this was back before I was on my own, running my own business. This was when I was working at Inman in my Inman days. And I remember my boss at the time said to me, she's like, you need to put your money where your mouth is. You talk all about social media. Why don't you launch a social media campaign? So in 2011, I launched a social media campaign and I Googled it the other day just to see if I could still find it. And it's still out there. If you Google Save Me a Seat, Oprah, embarrassingly, it's still there. We were rocking it on YouTube with 6 subscribers over there. But I launched a social media campaign. I did videos on YouTube. I had a Facebook page. I was tweeting about it. I think this is before Instagram. And it was pretty amazing. I was sharing my story. I was sharing why I wanted to get tickets to the Oprah show. And within 24 days of launching this campaign, 24 days, I actually got two invitations from Harpo. I had 2 phone calls from Harpo and I got to go to the show. It was amazing. I got to go with my best friend, Lori. You can see on the screen here, they didn't let us take pictures really in the studio. So we took a picture outside the studio. And then one of my friends who watched it on his DVR later took a picture of the TV. So the show we went to is actually a best friend show. And everyone in the audience were best friends. And one of our cats is coming up here. So everyone in the audience was best friends. And so Gail was there, Oprah was there. And it was awesome. It was so cool. It was a memory I will probably never forget. And so that sort of sparked the inspiration for Katie's favorite things. And by the way, fun fact, if you remember the Oprah show back in the day, Oprah would usually always give away things, right? So I remember being in the audience with my best friend, Lori. We're sitting in the audience and Oprah's in the front talking about some sort of experience her and Gail, some sort of vacation they went to. And in all the excitement, Oprah says something like, and you all won, blah, 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 blah. And like everyone started cheering, but nobody actually knew what she said. So then we went to commercial break and Oprah was like, did any of you actually hear what you just won? And we all shook our head like, no, we have no idea what we just won. We actually won an amazing spa trip. So there's this great spa in Tucson, Arizona called Miraval, where all the celebrities go. And we won an all expense paid spa vacation. It was amazing. So we ended up doing that a few months later. So that's my Oprah story. I've shared this every year, probably for the last 8 years. And it's something we've shared over on our podcast, but it's a fun story. And it's just a reminder of like, look, we have things on our bucket list we say we want to do, right? There's all these things. Oh, one day I want to do this, or one day I want to do this. And for me, one of my bucket list items was getting on the Oprah show. And it just came to the point where I was like, okay, put your money where your mouth is. Like, let's do it. So anyways, it's a fun story. And like I said, feel free to Google Save Me a Seat, Oprah. You might find it. Welcome. If you just joined us, I can see lots of you tuning in. Good to see you guys. Welcome. All right, so today with Katie's favorite things, I have broken this down into 7 categories. We are going to be sharing tech tools, books. I'm talking about going offline. I've got travel, comfort, beauty, and fun. So we've categorized it into 7 different categories. And like I said, these are all items that are on Amazon. I have created a simple list for you. So if any of these are of interest and you want to check them out, you can do that as well. If you just joined, make sure you comment below and say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we have folks tuning in from all over And by the way, feel free to also put in the chat like where you're located, or if you want to drop a link to your Instagram so people can connect with you, or your Facebook. One of my favorite things that's not on the screen here is our community. We have an amazing community. I know we have a lot of folks who are tuning in right now who are part of our Get Social Smart Academy family. We have folks who, you followed me on social media, maybe you're on our email list, maybe I've met you at an event. So feel free to put your contact info in the chat so we can connect. And that's one of the best things about our community is just the connections that you make. Angie says, love your tree. It's loaded with lots of ornaments. Thank you. Yeah. So we have a couple trees. This is my tree in my kitchen. This is another little tree in I call it my reading room. And then I have a big tree in our other room, but I couldn't quite get myself situated there. So we're in the kitchen right now. But I have to say, I love having a kitchen tree. I've never had a tree in my kitchen. I love in the morning, like having my cup of coffee right by a tree. I don't know. It's pretty magical. I'm not a morning person, as a lot of you might know, but there's nothing like getting up early, having a hot cup of coffee, and just having like the Christmas lights on. I love it. So, awesome. Thank you guys for the story. Yes, the story is so fun. Joe says, I love hearing this story every year. Yes, I know. I didn't win a car. I would have liked a car. That would have been cool. But yeah, it's awesome. And honestly, if you guys go back, if you really want to hear all the details of that Oprah story, I think I shared this in like episode 2 of my podcast. So if you're a podcast person and you find Katie Lance podcast, a couple years ago, like episode 2 or 3, I shared my Oprah story. So if you really want to hear the whole thing, it's on my podcast there. Hey Don, good to see you. Hey Kristen, good to see you guys. Okay, so let's get into it. Katie's favorite things. I've got 7 categories and I've got them all up on the screen here. Okay, so tech tools. We're going to start with tech tools. So tech tools, I've got actually 9. So I've got 5 here, and then I have another screen that I want to share. Okay, so the first one, I'm actually going to, and by the way, the link on the screen here, if you want to take a picture of it, feel free to do that. It's amazon.com/shop/Katie Lance. Everything I'm going to share today is on that list. And you'll actually see when you go to that link, you'll see 2024, 2023, 2022. Like it actually goes back, I think, 5 years to my favorite things. So you could actually go back the last 5 years if you wanted to see. A lot of that stuff is still available, but that is the link that's going to take you to all of this. Again, if you happen to purchase anything, I do receive a tiny commission, like a few pennies. So full disclosure on that. Okay, the first thing I want to share that is my latest favorite thing, and I'm actually going to stop sharing for a second because I want to show you this. Okay, this is the coolest little thing, and I have to thank my husband, who is awesome. I kicked him out of the house though for this broadcast. So this is like a little tripod thing that folds up like this, and it's so awesome for travel. Like if you are someone who's like recording video, or you want to take a tripod with you to a convention, it like folds up super small. And then I actually use it by my desk all the time because it's really nice. It just holds your phone like really, look, you guys can see yourself right here. It holds your phone really easily right there. And then what I really like at the bottom, there's like these little rubber stopper thingies so it doesn't move around on your desk. So that is by far one of my favorite things. I'm going to try to put the link to my Amazon here in the chat while we are chatting here really quick. Let me see if I can do this. I'll do it in 1 second. Okay, let's see. Let me grab it. Actually, you know what? I can grab it right here. I can grab this link and show you guys. That way you have it in the chat. Yes. And we actually gave this away at our mastermind. So all of our masterminders who are here got this as one of their little swag gifts. I just think it's super fun. It comes in different colors. I love red, obviously. So yeah, it's fun. I've been seriously using it all the time. I gave one to my kids. They love it. Paul started using it first, and then I got on the bandwagon. So, all right. So that's one of my first favorite things. Second thing, everyone always asks me about ring lights. I have actually 2 ring lights. I have one ring light that's super fancy, but you really don't need that. If you're just like looking for some basic gear, I always say like, you don't need to spend a whole lot. This ring light that I see on the screen here, I have had for a long time. I'm actually using it right now. This is the light that's illuminating me right now. Let me see if I can turn it off and on to show you. So this is what it looks like on. Let's see if I can turn it off. Okay, this is what it looks like off. So big difference, right? Now it looks okay. It doesn't look bad, but let me turn it back on. There we go. Okay. And then there's different settings. You can kind of change the settings too. What I really like about this ring light is it holds your phone. So if you want to use it as a tripod, or I'm just using it as a light right now because I've got my phone next to me. And then the second thing I really like is it's adjustable. So like right now I have it on my kitchen table. But if I wanted to have it, I don't know, like on the floor and have it be like a 6-foot tripod, I could do that. I also like this tripod charges through USB. So you don't need to be right next to a plug. Like it just charges through USB. So you could plug it into your computer or plug it into like a little portable charger. It's super handy. So I wanted to mention that because people always ask me about that. And then for travel, this little one, we also gave this one out at our mastermind. This is a tiny little like $7 tripod. And this also is awesome. In fact, let me share with you how this one works. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and I'm going to turn off my big ring light. Okay, so now I have no ring light and I turned on this little mini one and I'm going to clip it to my computer. And it's pretty good. It's kind of bright. So you can adjust it. There's sorry, I'm going to just blind you guys, but there's little adjustments so you can tap it and make it not as bright. There we go. So pretty cool. And again, you have to kind of play around with it. Some people like it. Actually, that's better. Before I had it right next to the camera. So here I have a little off to the camera. So it's just this little, again, $7 cool thing. You could also put it on your phone, which is cool if you want to clip it to your phone. And it just helps. Again, I don't think you necessarily need all the things. I'm pretty low tech with stuff, you guys. So this is going to cost money. Time to get a few nice Christmas gifts for me. Yes. So some of this stuff hopefully is inspiring for you. Like I always look at this time of year because, everything's on sale. Like, again, I'm not doing any of this to sell anything. I just truly think all this stuff is cool. Like I wouldn't share anything unless I actually think it's cool and I use it. So that's always a disclaimer for me. And it has to be truly one of my favorite things. So yeah, I always look at this time of year as a great time to pick up some of these things. And honestly, if you're thinking about, up leveling your video content in the new year, like a lot of you are, like these are a couple things you might want to pick up. So again, got the little tripod. This is cool just for especially if you're recording just on your desk. This is awesome. Again, it folds up, which I really like. Just put right in your bag. The bigger tripod, that big tripod is not one I would travel with. I guess you could, but it's not really meant for travel. It's really portable. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't really have, like we have a small house. I have a dedicated office, but I have to be able to move things easily. So that's why I like that tripod. And then the little one, by the way, this little one also comes with a charger. And this was also a little swag gift at our mastermind also. Okay, the next thing is microphone. Okay, people ask me all the time about microphones. I actually have two I'm going to share. This one I'm going to share in a minute. This is the Yeti mic. This is a little bit more expensive. But if you're just getting started or if you need something just for your iPhone or Android, I bought this little one right here. It's a 2-pack wireless mic. And let me share with you what that looks like really quick. So I'm just going to open the box up and it comes with a bunch of different stuff. Basically, what I really like is it's pretty simple. It's just a little mic. You actually get 2 of these and it comes with these little, you can take the fuzzy thing off. I usually just use the regular one. And then all you do is take this end and you plug it into your phone. So you plug that into your phone. I have the iPhone one, but they have an Android one too. You plug it into your phone and then you just clip this on. Or like a lot of people, if you want to be cool, like the Gen Zers, they just hold it in their hand and use it. So, and then there's a little cord you just charge it with and it charges really fast. So if you're just recording video at your house, you probably don't need a mic, to be honest. But if you're doing anything where you're like out and about, if you're doing property tours and you're outside or you're like at the beach or it's windy, like audio really does make a difference. It's a tiny thing that really does make a big difference. So, yeah, Dave, definitely check this one out. It's super affordable. It's like $12. And that's the other cool thing is all these prices have come way down. Like if you guys have been around a while, like all this stuff used to be super expensive. I remember buying like $100 wireless mic at one point. And so these are great, right? They're super inexpensive. Let me know in the chat if you guys use any of these, if you use any mics or if you've used any of these tools before. I would just be curious. The other thing that I use this a lot because I'm a speaker is this wireless clicker. So I guess it's called a wireless presenter with red laser. So for any of you who are speakers, some of you might be speakers who are watching this today. I am all about being prepared. Right? When I speak at an event, like I bring all the cords, I bring all the dongles. Like I never assume that the event organizer is going to have the stuff I need. So I just bring it just in case. And so this is a really great, clicker presenter thing. I really like it because it has a very long distance. And so sometimes with the kind of more inexpensive ones, you have to be like, fairly close to the computer, like within 6 feet. So, and in some events, like your laptop or your presentations across the room. So I really love this one. And basically the way it works is you just pop out this little USB thing and you stick it in your computer, and the battery life works for a really long time. So I really like it. If you do any kind of presenting, that is one that I would recommend for sure. So okay. And again, all those are linked on my Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/Katie Lance. We're just looking at the chat here. Annie says, I have that. It works great. Awesome. Joe says, funny, out of all these items, I have all of them except for one, the wireless presenter with the red laser. Yeah. And again, if you're not necessarily a speaker, I don't know how often you would use this, but it really is one of my favorite things. And I know there's a fair amount of you who do some sort of speaking, or if you ever do any presenting, it's nice to have, your own clicker. You don't want to be the speaker that's like, oh, darn it, I just have to hit my button. Right. So just being prepared for sure. Hey Pam, she says, hi from Northeast Florida. I use a small ring light. Oh, awesome. Holly hasn't used it yet. Okay, Linda's here. Awesome. Welcome. Hey, if you just joined, make sure you comment in the chat, say hi, let us know where you're tuning in from. We're talking all about Katie's favorite things. Okay, so tech tools. These are 5 of them. The next slide has my next 5 tech tools. Okay, so we talked about the little inexpensive wireless mics. Love these. If you're looking for something a little bit more high end, I really like this one. This is a Logitech for creators. It's the Yeti mic. I have used a lot of sort of quote unquote fancy mics over the years, and this one is super easy. I don't want to mess around with it because I'm literally using it right now for this broadcast. There's nothing to install. You take it out of the box and plug it in. Like, that is fantastic. I don't have to mess around with the levels. I mean, I'm sure if I really wanted to get into it, I could probably mess around with like, the audio levels and this and that. I record this. I use this for all my podcasts. I use this for a lot of the Zooms I do. It's just easy. I also don't have to be like right up in it. Like, the way this mic works is it picks up sound 360. So I found it's super easy. I have a MacBook Pro, but it works with, I would imagine, just about any computer. So if you plan on doing, I would say this is really helpful. If you plan on doing a lot of content through your computer, like let's say you're doing a lot of Zooms where you're interviewing people, maybe for next year, you're thinking of doing like, kind of a Zoom style interview once or twice a month, or maybe you're doing some online classes. Like I know some of the folks we talked to recently in our academy are thinking of doing a couple classes throughout the year, maybe like a first time home buyer class, or maybe you're doing a class with the lender and you want to do it through Zoom. Having a good mic really does help. It just kind of takes your audio level to the next level, especially for any of you doing stuff on YouTube. I was just talking to Paul about this last night about YouTube. And what's really funny about YouTube is on other platforms, you can kind of get away with like bad lighting, bad sound, but like YouTube really, I think, prefers high quality video, high quality audio. I find it really does make a big difference. So, I always say done is better than perfect. Like if you don't have it, it's all good. It's not the end of the world. But if you're someone who's been kind of thinking about YouTube, you might consider investing in a good mic. I do think it makes a big difference. Dave says, I don't have that exact mic, but I do use a Yeti. Okay, cool. Hey, Marie from Florida. Good to see you. Welcome. Hey, Cindy. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, the next 2 things that are my favorite is the Mophie. So now the Mophie I have is not exactly the one that is on the screen, but it is very, very similar. So the Mophie is this like, it's like a brick. Okay, guys, like let me share my screen here, or stop sharing my screen. So the Mophie is this like portable charger, and I'm not kidding. We have 4 of these in our house, one for each of us. And you might go, well, can't you just plug in your phone, in the wall? Yes, we absolutely could. But I don't know about you. I don't always want to be tethered to the wall. And these are great. They don't just charge once. We take these on vacation. Whenever I fly, I always have one of these in my bags. I never rely on like, oh, I'll find a plug on the airplane. Oh, I'll find a plug, in the airport. Because the moment you do that is the moment that you will have 2% battery life and no plug and no charge available. So this I love. There's a little button that shows you how much battery life. So this has 3 bars. I have probably used this for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, and I haven't charged it. It charges your phone over and over again. So a lot of the little tiny chargers that you buy or that you get like at a trade show, they're great for like one charge, or it'll charge your phone like halfway. But this will charge your phone multiple times. It also works with iPads. I haven't used it for my computer. It probably would work, although I think it would hold the charge. I don't think it would actually increase the charge. But these are awesome. Again, the brand is Mophie. The one I have is gray. The one that I found on Amazon, I think, is black, but they have different colors, different price points. You can buy the $24 one or like the $100 one. It sort of depends. And then the one next to it, the one in the middle, T-Core, I don't have it right in front of me because my son Luke has it in his backpack for school. So he needed like a little portable one, and I found this little one. This is actually really cool. That's the one in the middle. It's a little square, and it's literally like the size of a brownie. Like I'm not kidding. It's probably about this big. And what's cool about the one he has is it actually shows how much battery life is on the front of it. So it'll say like 100% or 80% or 90%. And it's just very small, and it takes like USB. It takes all the different, plugs, so to speak. So I definitely recommend, whether you travel or whether you're just a realtor and you're always out and about. Like I don't know if I'm not sure if my parents are watching, but I always tell my mom, like, bring a Mophie with you, always bring one with you, like you just never know. So that's sort of this is one of these things that probably could have been one of my favorite travel tools, but that's also one of my favorite tech tools also. Nikki says, I have a Mophie on my desk now. I never leave home without one. Yeah, I literally never leave home. I always have one of these. And some people go, oh, it's heavy. It's not that heavy, honestly. Even when I'm going out, like for the night, like people are going to laugh, but I always make sure if I'm taking a little handbag, like my little handbag better fit this and my phone. Right. So, and inevitably, and some of you have known this, like if you've ever gone out to dinner with me, there's always someone who's like, Katie, do you have your charger? Because I always bring it with me. So if we're ever out to dinner, and you need a charge, I got you. I got you. Now I don't bring all the plugs. I only bring a plug or two. So you might need to bring your own plug, but okay. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, this is new on the list for this year, is the Canon IV2 mini photo printer. Okay, you guys, I love this thing. So mine actually comes in a little case, and you can get different colors. I have pink. And the reason why I got this is, some of you may or may not know this, but like I'm a crafty girl. I love doing some crafts. I love doing some scrapbooking. And one of the things that I really started to lean back into in 2024 was just my hobbies. And I don't know if you can relate to this. If you're someone who loves what you do and you work a lot and you're busy with family and life, your hobbies often fall off the radar. And so this was the year that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lean back into my hobbies. And one of my hobbies has always been crafting and creating. I love being creative and scrapbooking. And so I purchased this. I actually had a really fun craft day with a dear friend of mine earlier this year, and she had all these amazing like photo printers. And so this was one of them that I found online that I absolutely love. I'm going to see if I can stop sharing so I can show you what this looks like. So what this does is, this is a little mini photo printer that prints out these teeny little photos, and it takes everything's tiny. It takes these teeny little packages of paper, and let's see if I can open this up. Like basically there's no ink. It's all inkless, which is cool. So the little photo paper lives right in here. Now you don't have to use this just for scrapbooking, but this is really cool. If you're like, how many photos do we have on our phone? And isn't it cool every once in a while to like actually print a real photo? And when you print it, it's actually a sticker. So these little photo things are actually stickers, which is kind of cool. So I just think this would be awesome. Like, and so basically it's a little teeny picture, and then this little part comes back off, and it could be a sticker. Like, I was just thinking this would be so cool. Like if you are at a closing and you take some pictures and then you like print them up right there for your client, like how cool would that be? Like for our client to have a couple of little pictures of them by the front door, or them like holding their set of keys, like immediately. Like it's one thing to like text it or post it to social, which I'm sure a lot of you do, but like there's just something about it being tactical. And I personally love that it comes with a little case, comes with a little cord, and then you can buy the extra. It comes with, I believe, 10 little packs of photo paper, but then you can always purchase more. I actually used this summer when we were traveling. I brought this with me because I also been doing more journaling. So I had my journal, I brought a couple of my favorite pens, and I brought this. And when we went to Yellowstone this past summer, I actually sort of challenged myself. I was like, okay, at the end of the day, I wanted to journal about our trip because I wanted to remember what we did and whatnot. So I would write out, what we would do, kind of, I would write out for the day with, you know, just some of the stuff that was memorable to me. And then I printed out a couple pictures. I went into my phone and printed out a couple pictures and just put them in my journal. So anyways, I wanted to share this with you. I know this isn't necessary for everyone, but I just think it's cool. And I don't know. I think that there's a lot of, with everything that's online these days, there's just something about like something tactical, right? So, anyways, that is the I'll put it back up on the screen so you guys can see that. That is the Canon IV2 mini photo printer, which is fun. So ink is not needed. Yeah, no ink needed, which is crazy. So I don't even understand the technology behind it, but there's no ink. So you don't need cartridges. You buy this and then you buy the paper. And the paper, I believe when you buy this, it comes with like 10 or 20 little sticker papers, and then you can just buy more. So, and it's really high quality. The pictures are great. My kids have used it for school projects. Yeah, it's just kind of a fun thing. So, anyways, it's one of my favorite things. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Yeah, your wife would love the printer. If you have people in your life that are crafty, love card making, they love scrapbooking. If you've got someone who's creative in your life, parents, I don't know, I just think it's a cool unique thing. It's different. It's just, again, it's sort of like taking the online offline and getting I look at my phone, I have, I don't know, 80,000 photos on my phone. It's like, how do we get some of those out right into like the real world? Joe says, I love portable chargers, especially when you're traveling on a plane or to Europe. Oh my gosh, 100%. Yes, these chargers for sure are like lifesavers if you're traveling, for sure. Holly says, very cool. Yes, I love that. Okay. The last thing that's on this page, okay, you guys are gonna laugh that I'm calling this a tech tool. This is my coffee pot. This is the Ninja. Now I don't have it right in front of me because it's over on my, counter. But I have gone through a lot of different coffee pots over the years. I'm kind of a Keurig gal because Paul doesn't drink coffee. I'm the only one in my house that drinks coffee. So I like sort of the single use coffee situation. But I also am not a super fan of all the K cups because I feel like it creates a lot of waste. So, plus, we've had issues with some Keurigs in the past, but this particular one is awesome. We actually got it at Costco, but it's the same price on Amazon. I double checked. So if you're a Costco person, you can get it at Costco. It's called the Ninja, and it does a couple things. So it comes with like a big carafe. So if you have people over, or if like there's people in your family that drink coffee, you can do like the big carafe, or you can do the K cups, or you can do grounds for just one big cup of coffee. So if you're like me and you love a big cup of coffee, and maybe the K cups just aren't strong enough. Like I was talking to my dad about this. He's like, they're just not strong enough. I was like, you got to use the grounds. So with my Ninja, I can put the grounds in and make a big cup of coffee. I don't have to make a whole pot, and it's good. And it also saves money. It's a little better for the environment, right? So I love it. And I'm including this as a tech tool because it's something you plug in. So technically it's technology, and I use it all the time when I am embracing technology, when I am recording video, or you guys know, if you're part of our academy, I do coffee with Katie every single Monday inside of our Get Social Smart Academy. And so I need a good strong cup of coffee, right? Okay, let me know what you guys think so far. Do we like this so far? Are we having fun? Is there anything on here that you like, that you think, oh, this looks kind of interesting? Like and comment below. Let me know in the chat if you have any of these things. Let me know as well. And if you haven't yet, make sure you like and comment, tag a friend. This is always a fun broadcast. So feel free to tag a friend who you think might enjoy this. We've got 7 categories. We're only on category 1. We've got tech tools so far. Okay. So my next thing, my next one is books. Okay, I always love to talk about books, and let me move some of my stuff out of the way. You guys should see afterwards. I'm going to post some of the behind the scenes of what this kind of looks like. It's a little crazy behind the scenes. So I want to share with you 3 books. There's lots of books I've read this year. Not as many as I'd like. To be honest with you, I'm an Audible gal. I don't know if any of you do Audible. Let me know in the chat. Are you Audible? Are you Kindle? Or are you a paperback or a hardback? Let me know in the chat really, really quick. What do you like? Audible what did I say? Audible, Kindle, hardback, or paperback. There's 4 options. There's no right or wrong answer because I kind of do all of the above. Although I haven't done Kindle in a while. I actually need to find my Kindle. Might be missing an action. I'm a huge Audible person, and if I really like a book, I will listen to it and I will read it. Like I will actually, and I will read like the paperback or the print version. Debbie says, "I love that coffee maker." Yes, it's a great coffee maker. Yay, Holly loves the printer. Awesome. Helen says Audible and hardcover. Oh, very cool. Debbie says paperback or hardback. Yeah. I I love hardback. Sometimes hardbacks are hard to travel with. That's the only issue. Sarah says library, paper, and audio via Hoopla and Libby. Oh, Sarah, I always forget about Hoopla and Libby. My kids use Hoopla. I have not used Libby yet. Well, maybe I have a long time ago. I don't, it's been a long time. I need to double check that. Um, Holly says harder paper. I like flipping pages. I know there is something very tactical for sure. Joanne says iBooks, Audible, sometimes hardback, paperback. Joe says I love hardback books. I love the book covers. Yeah, me too. Nikki says Kindle and paperback, Audible if the yes, if the author reads, Nikki, 100%. For example, I listened to what was it? Michelle Obama's books. She narrates them. Amazing. Loved that. And I think it was who's another one that I really love. Who I think it was last year I read Spare, the Prince Harry book, because I love the all things royals, and I believe he narrated it also. So yeah, when the author actually narrates it, I love that. Audible, Marie, Linda. Okay, cool. So I got 3 books up here that I want to share. This I read last January. I will probably read it again. It's called Smart Brevity. And I listened to the book and I also read it because there's some really great examples in here. I highly recommend this book. I have been recommending this book all year long because my mantra all year has been less is more in life, in marketing, in a lot of things. Less is more. And so the book is called Smart Brevity, and they're also the co-creators of Axios and Politico. It is the power of saying more with less. So if you have ever struggled with verbiage, writing compelling emails, email newsletters, one-to-one emails, social media posts, like not everyone has a strong suit of writing, or maybe you feel like you're a pretty good writer, but you need to be a little bit more concise. This is awesome. And again, I will probably read this again this year. What is really cool about this book is it's like super tactical. I read it from start to finish. But like, here's an example. Okay. Here's one chapter that's called One Big Thing. It tells you how many words. Hold on, let me use my pencil. It tells you there's 921 words in this chapter, and it'll take you about 3.5 minutes to read. So you could skip right to that chapter. I read it all in order. I kind of do recommend you read it in order because I feel like that was helpful. And then when you get into each chapter, I love the way it's formatted because sometimes I get distracted. It's got bullet points. It says why it's mattered. It gives a little story. It gives like the big picture. And then it gives like how it works and just like a ton of great examples. So it's full color. And again, especially great for email marketing. I don't have a crystal ball, but you guys know I always say social media is rented ground. We don't own it. I know there's irony in saying this as I'm doing this live on Facebook, but we do not own these platforms. In fact, with Facebook Live, I'm also recording this over on my Zoom. I will probably download this and put this somewhere else. So I'm just a huge believer in building your database. Like I am really leaning into email marketing. I think a lot of folks are leaning into email marketing in 2025 and beyond. Not that I'm going anywhere with social. I think social still obviously a huge important place to build relationships and for community and to distribute your content. But there's a lot of changes that are happening in the world. So we want to get better with our words and we want to cut through the noise because there's more noise than ever before, right? I'm just looking at the chat. Nikki says Spare was great with Harry's narration. I know that was so good. Hey, Megan, thanks for tuning in. Holly says Smart Brevity by creators of Axios and what? They are the creators of Axios and Politico. Axios and Politico. Anna is here. Welcome, Anna. Okay, so this business book, definitely recommend. It's an easy read. If you're an Audible person, it's an easy listen. Definitely recommend. And honestly, again, I'm probably going to read it again because it was that valuable. Okay, my second favorite book for the year, spoiler alert, I'm a wing nut. I'm a West Wing fan. If you are a West Wing fan, like and comment below in the chat. Do you love the West Wing? Yes, I know this is a show that came out like 30 years ago. It is one of my all-time favorites. I have watched the entire series, all seven seasons multiple times. And this book came out. It's a big one. This is a big hardcover book. So I'll be honest with you. I have the hardcover. I actually got an autographed copy of this one. Was excited about that. The authors, Melissa Fitzgerald and Mary McCormick, starred in the show. And this show came out between 1999 and 2006. Ironically, I never watched it when it was live. I just wasn't into it at the time. And so started watching it during COVID, totally fell in love with the writing. It's just a very optimistic view of the world, which I think a lot of us need, right? And it's beautifully written. Aaron Sorkin is the screenwriter, and it is, I think, some of the smartest writing ever on TV. So I'm a huge fan of the show. And if you are a huge fan, you got to get this book. It is awesome. It's ginormous. Like I said, this book is like, oh my gosh, 500 and something pages. So it is narrated by Melissa Fitzgerald and Mary McCormick, who are two of the stars of the show. And what I really like about this book is it does two things. So number one, if you are a huge fan of the show, it gives you a ton of like behind the scenes. They chatted with a ton of people who worked on this show, not just the main actors like Rob Lowe and Allison Janney. Like they talked to cameramen, they talked to, the grips, they talked to a ton of people behind the scenes who worked on the show. And it's so fun to just sort of hear their stories. And then second of all of them are really involved in service, which is something I would like to do better at. That is it's just something that's very inspiring to me as I think about 2025 and where I would love to spend my time. And so this book is called A Backstage Pass to the West Wing. It's cast, crew, and its enduring legacy of service. And so the other part of this book is how each of these actors now are really leaning in to service nationally, locally. One of the authors, Melissa Fitzgerald, she works for an organization called Justice for Vets, which really helps rehabilitate veterans, which is amazing. So anyways, I totally recommend it. It's awesome. It's not a business book, but it's, life is more than business, as we all know. So anyways, I absolutely love it. Annalisa is here. Welcome. I'm happy to see you on my live. Hope says West Wing nut. I'm a lover of Josh Lyman. Oh my gosh. You and me both, girl. Me both. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Yeah, Joanne, it won't do anything to your Amazon account. In fact, if you add things to your cart, it'll be in your, yeah, exactly. So yeah, this link on the screen here won't do anything to your Amazon. It's just basically if you go to amazon.com/shop/Katie Lance and you use any of like my links, then like I get credit that you bought something using my link and I get a few pennies. Not a whole lot, a small commission. So yeah, it won't do anything. Hey Richard, hey Kelly, thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Okay. So let me know if you're a West Wing fan. I saw one person. I know it's an old show, but I'm telling you guys, and I know there's like 8 million things to watch on Netflix. Like there's no shortage of stuff, right? So it's like, why would I watch a show that's old? I just think the writing is amazing. It's great storytelling, great writing, very, like I said, optimistic. It's a win-win. All right. I'm going to give you my Katie stamp of approval. Yes, says Debbie. Good to see you. Okay. The other thing, okay, shameless plug. I had to put this on my Katie's favorite things. This year in 2024, I was so excited. I finally published my 18-month social media planner. And I want to just say really quick, a huge thank you to our community because this is something I've been wanting to publish forever. You guys know I have my other book that I published years ago called Get Social Smart. And I love a physical planner. Like I'm a pen and paper gal, right? Like I love a good pen. I love a good planner. So I've been wanting to publish this forever. So many of you purchased this last year. In fact, if you have a copy of this, let me know in the chat. Just say yes or no if you have a copy of this. If you don't have a copy, again, shameless plug, you can go to my Amazon to pick up a copy. But it was such a dream come true to publish this. I created this myself. I designed it myself. I wrote it myself and I published it myself. It's all self-published through Amazon. It's 130 pages. And what's really cool about this, first of all, it has like the soft finish, which I love. I'm all about the tactical. And the way it's broken down is it's all unnumbered. So it's good for any year. And then you have in here, let me see if I can pull up the first month. So you can see you have like a blank, I don't know if you can hear me, a blank calendar. Then you have a ton of content ideas. So it's meant for real estate agents. There's tons of content ideas. I give content ideas for every month. And then for each week, you have a page for each week where you can break down your goals, what listings you have, what open houses you have. And then at the end of the month, this is something that I love because I've been doing this all year, there's a page where you write down your wins and then areas of improvement. And whether or not you do this with my planner or not, I really encourage you to do this in 2025. One of the things, and I kind of fell off the wagon the last month or so because of the holidays, but one of the things I did all throughout the year is at the end of the month, I would look at my planner. I would look to see what I did personally, business wise. I would look to see what our family did in all areas of our life. And I would just make a list of wins. And from like, it could be as simple as like, hey, finally got into the dentist, right? That was a win. Or I don't know, Owen got his driver's license. That was a huge win that month. Or, big things like, hey, publish this on Amazon or whatever it might be. Like, I think by sort of breaking down the wins on a monthly basis, it made me a little bit more intentional about being grateful. So I would absolutely recommend that. And then second of all, I also really like doing this for social media because social media changes a lot. There's things that come up and whatnot. So it's kind of a nice way to look back and go, okay, what went really well? All right, maybe I published a story every day of the month, or I did a reel twice a week or whatever, like being able to kind of look back and go, okay, that went really well. Or I did more email marketing. I sent out that email newsletter. Like that went really well. So definitely recommend that. Oh, a lot of you are saying yes in the chat. You guys are awesome. Helen has 2 copies. Debbie says, I'm definitely pen and paper. Oh, for sure. For sure. I have a copy. It's a great reference for long term. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. And just sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support on that this year. You guys are awesome. I had a lot of brokers reach out who ordered boxes of these for their agents. So any of you who are brokers and you want to get, a box or 2 or whatever for your agents, let me know, email me. I'm happy to give you a deal. But yeah, it's just a cool, again, having some sort of planner, I think definitely helps. Okay. So we've talked about tech stuff. We talked about books. And by the way, I would actually be curious, those of you, when it comes to planning, do you prefer a printed planner, or do you use digital, or do you use both? Like, let me know in the chat. What do you prefer, printed, digital, or both? I tend to use both. The challenge with both is you have to update both. So I'm currently in the process of like making some final tweaks to our 2025 plan. So I've got it all with pencil and written out, but then I also have to like make sure that is in line with what I have on my, Google Calendar. Joanne says both. Debbie says both. Yeah. I would imagine a lot of people are both. And so that's the key. If you do both, you have to update both. I really do like printed for like long-term thinking, right? It's like, what do I want to do this quarter, next quarter, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, right? And then I use a lot of like my actual Google Calendar for like the day-to-day appointments and stuff like that. Cheryl says definitely printed, old school. I love it. Sarah says printed or both. Nikki says both. Challenged. Carol says printed. Holly says printed planner all the way. I put things on my iPhone, mainly appointments. Yeah, I do that too. I put things on my iPhone that I need to remember. I use my calendar a lot of times as kind of a to-do list. Like, don't forget to do this today, Angel, but yeah, both work and personal. We use Google Calendar a lot. I'm kind of a nerd, and I have like a little bit of, I color code my Google Calendar. And we have a family calendar, which we all share. So that's kind of cool. So it just sort of helps when I'm looking at my calendar at a glance. Yeah, Debbie, printed for long term, for sure. We actually talked about this. Those of you who are in our Get Social Smart Academy, we did our 2025 planning masterclass last week. And I can tell you guys, it's so helpful if you're in the middle of like planning out your content or social media for next year. Like, I just find having a printed calendar to be able to kind of look at the whole picture and then be able to map things out for sure. Paper mostly, says Victoria. Okay, cool. Okay, so in the vein of paper, I want to talk about going offline, and I have three things that are some of my favorite things for going offline. First off, pencils, and again, I also gave these away at our mastermind this year in Vegas. Ticonderoga, you can't go wrong with Ticonderoga. There's lots of fakes that are out there, but these are great. Now, these are actually neon, which is fun. You don't necessarily need the neon ones. They are pre-sharpened, which is fantastic. We had these at our mastermind, and a couple of people asked, do we have a pencil sharpener? I was like, they are pre-sharpened, which is fantastic. And you might laugh, but I use pencils a lot, especially for planning, especially when I'm using a planner, because I feel like the moment I write something in pen is the moment that I want to change it. So when it comes to planning, I'm all about pencil. I'm a pencil gal for sure. I also do like, mechanical pencils too, but you can't go wrong with a good old fashioned real pencil. And if you really want to be productive, what you do is you get your planner and you get your pencils, and then you put your phone in the other room so you don't get distracted, right? That is the key. Helen says she's using her pencils now. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love pre-sharpened pencils. I love it. By the way, shameless plug, and also shout out to our masterminders. We had our Get Social Smart mastermind just a few weeks ago. It feels like it was forever ago. It was just a few weeks ago. And early in 2025, we will announce our dates for next year. So I'm excited about that. So stay tuned. Okay, so the pencils, that's one thing. The second thing, I love papyrus and I love a good note card. I purchased these note cards, these little papyrus note cards on Amazon because I'll be honest with you, I didn't have time to order something custom. I wanted to get like custom Katie Lance cards. I didn't have time for that. So I went on Amazon and I found these cards, and let me see if I can actually show you really quick what they look like. So these are just really beautiful. Can't really see because it's so bright with my ring light, but it says thank you, and they're gold lined around the outside. And I just think if you're going to send a card, don't be cheap. Don't get the cheap, flimsy cards. Like, get some good card stock. And these are sturdy. I love that they're just like classy. These work for like clients. These work for family. These work for, I don't know, wedding gifts, whatever gifts, any gifts you get, right? Like just a little note in the mail. And what I also love about papyrus is papyrus also includes the little stickers, right? And then the envelopes are a little extra. You get the little lining with the gold inside. So, I feel like if you're going to take the time to write a note to someone, take the time, write something, be intentional. As I always say, I always give my mom a big shout out because she always taught me and my brother the importance of a thank you card, right? You get a gift, send a card. You get invited somewhere, send a card. And sometimes I'm pretty good at it. Every once in a while, like a lot of people, I might fall off the train. I also see a lot of people who like outsource thank you notes. And I guess no judgment to that. I just think that's kind of the one thing you shouldn't outsource, really. Maybe that's a hot take. Maybe that's controversial. I get these things in the mail and you can just tell it's like they didn't actually write that. you know? So like if you're gonna send a card, send a card. Now, a Christmas card's a little bit different, or a holiday card. I know, those are gonna be pre-printed for a lot of folks. We do that too. We do like the, Shutterfly collage or whatever. But for like a one-to-one note, you gotta take the time. And there's just something intentional about like finding the right card, finding the right pen, finding the address, getting a stamp, actually mailing it, right? So I also think for 2025, again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think, taking the online offline, as I have often said over the years, I think there's a big opportunity for that. Big opportunity. I'm going to buy these cards this year. Great idea. Yeah, they're really great quality. And so that's the thing. Sometimes when you buy stuff online, you just don't know the quality. So I know they look kind of plain, but they're really classy. I just love that they go with anything. And I have always been happy with papyrus. I don't even know if they still have papyrus stores. I used to love the papyrus stores in the mall. I don't know if they even still have that, but I've bought holiday cards through papyrus. And I just find that they're just like a heavier weight. They're not super expensive and they're good quality. And I just always like to have them on hand. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys send thank you cards? Or is this like an old fashioned thing nobody does anymore? What do you guys think? Do you let me know yes or no if you guys send cards, like handwritten cards? Um, I don't know. I just still think I know it's not everyone's thing, but I just think I just don't I think it doesn't go out of style, is what I'm trying to say, right? Um, yeah, a few stores still. Yeah. Um, definitely, says Debbie. Cool. Definitely. Yes, absolutely. This is Carol Lori. Absolutely. I love that. I feel like, again, it's not for everybody, but I really think if you're someone who really values like the relationship building thing, especially for business, I just think there's nothing like it. Like anybody could send an email, anybody could send a text. Like there's something, again, sort of intentional about sending a nice card. Angie says, writing out my Christmas cards right now. Oh, I love that. Yeah, writing a card can go a long way for sure. Holly says, I send written cards each week. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Pam, yes. Marie, I try, not as consistent. Yeah. Joanne says, I send handwritten cards all the time. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, the other thing that's on this list right here of going offline, I love a good folder. And this is a little pack of 30 decorative folders that I bought on Amazon. And I initially bought these also for our mastermind because we were going to have a bunch of loose papers and I wanted to keep it tidy. And I was like, well, honestly, I thought of it at the last minute, to be completely honest with you. Otherwise, I probably would have like created like, I don't know, custom folders or something. But these are cool. And I love that they're pretty. You guys are going to laugh. Whenever I buy folders, I used to always just sort of go cheap and buy like the generic plain boring ones. And I'm like, you know what? Whoops. I was like, I'm going to buy some pretty ones. So I you don't necessarily have to get the teal pack. I just love teal, but they're fun. They're different ones. And I use these like on my desk again, like instead of just having loose papers, like I will have one for like paperwork I need to read through, or like mail I need to sort, or stuff from the kids that I need to deal with. And then I just have them right on my desk. Like it's sort of stuff that's top of mind. And then when I'm done, I'm done. But they're pretty and it's a pack of 30. So, can't go wrong there. Anyway, so that's one of my favorite things. I love. I think they're pretty. And I don't know, I think it's easy to get, go, oh, I'm gonna buy something cheap and boring, but let's buy something pretty. That's my 2 cents. I've gotten the cheap folders for many years. Yeah, it's like the cheap ones, and they're like you get like the olive green ones, they're like the worst color ever. So I'm like, you know what? And then use them. So that's the other thing. I used to get pretty folders and then I wouldn't use them because they were like so pretty. No, use them. This is the year we use our stuff. Okay, you guys, like if you've got pretty stuff, if you got that candle that's been sitting out that you've never burned because it's too pretty, burn the candle, right? You've got the nice dishes you never use because they're the nice dishes, use the dishes, right? Like let's just knock an ornament off the tree. So this is the year we use the stuff. Okay, this is the year we use the stuff. Okay, travel. Okay, travel. I've got 4 things on my travel list here, and we're gonna kind of go through these here pretty quick. This first one, I travel a lot, and I bought this 16-pack travel set a while back because I was actually traveling internationally. I was traveling to Canada, and I was like extra concerned about traveling with liquids and wanting to make sure that I was like completely compliant with the size. You guys know if you traveling in the US is one thing, you travel international, they're a little bit more picky when it comes to like the sizes and everything. So I love with this little set, the clear bag is like super sturdy. And then you get all these cute little containers that you can just like squeeze your shampoo or your sunscreen or whatever your products are. And then it also comes with little labels. So my issue with all those little bottles in the past was like, well, I don't know which is which. Is this lotion or is this conditioner for my hair? Right. I don't want to mess up. But this little pack comes with all these little labels that already have words on them. So they have words like sunscreen, hand lotion, shampoo, and then they have a bunch of blank ones too. So then you just like label your stuff and it's awesome. I love it. I've been using it for probably my last like 6 or 8 trips, and it's easy. It's easy to pack, easy to refill. It's easy, which is great. Um Linda says I need to use all my expensive writing pens. Yes, use them. Use them every day. Use them every day. My other favorite travel thing is my travel Keurig. Okay, so this is, I think, the first time on Katie's favorite things that like coffee is making a double appearance. But when I travel, specifically to Vegas. Now, I don't bring this everywhere, but when you go to Vegas, and those of you who come to our mastermind, you know there is no coffee maker, there is no Keurig in the hotel rooms in Vegas. Now, some hotel rooms are starting to, but for the most part, most hotel rooms do not. Why? Because they want you to go to Starbucks. They want you to like order the $30 carafe to be sent to your room. And if you're like me, I like to wake up in my hotel, roll out of bed, and immediately have a cup of coffee. Just ask Paul. He knows. So everybody laughs, but it's awesome. So it's this little travel Keurig. I love it. I bought it probably a year or so ago. And yes, I bring along my K cups. I bring along some like powdered creamer. I bring a spoon and I bring a travel mug. And it's the best thing ever. So, yes, it is definitely one of my favorite things. Joanne says, I seriously love the Keurig. It's a game changer. Yes. And I will tell you guys, this little Keurig came out earlier this year. I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite things is my Ninja coffee maker. Well, before I bought the Ninja, I had a coffee maker that like died. It went kaput. And I was like, oh, dang it. So I went out to my garage, grabbed my little travel Keurig and used my travel Keurig in my kitchen for a couple days until I bought a new coffee maker. So it's simple. It's easy. It only makes one little cup at a time. It's not too big. When I travel for work, I don't check a bag. And so it fits pretty easily inside my suitcase. I just, the thing is you can't overpack, right? Which leads me to the next two things, and that is packing cubes. I'm a huge proponent of packing cubes. Packing cubes, I think, have been on my Katie's favorite thing list probably every year for the last 5 years. And these are two that I use. There might be fancier ones out there on the market. I don't think you have to spend a whole lot on packing cubes. Whenever I talk about packing cubes, people always say to me, there's either the camp of like, I love packing cubes, or there's the camp of like, why do I need a packing cube? And I feel like until you've used a packing cube, you don't get it. And maybe, okay, I will say, even sometimes my husband's like, do I need to use a packing cube? It really does help, especially if you're traveling as a family. It just helps because a couple things. First of all, it makes you pack things tighter and more concise, if that makes sense. I just find it's a lot easier. If you're traveling as a family, I feel like this is a huge game changer because when I'm helping my kids pack, I'm like, hey, you get 2 packing cubes and everything you want to bring better fit into those 2, right? Or 3 or whatever the number is. And so it's just an easy way to like pack concisely. It's also really helpful because when we do travel as a family, we often will check a bag. And so what ends up happening is we will get to check in and oftentimes our bag is too heavy. And so we need to take some stuff out. And which is a total hassle if you've ever had to deal with that. You're standing at the counter at United Airlines with your bag that's 54 pounds and you're like, okay, I got to take out 4 pounds of clothes. It's way easier to take out 1 or 2 packing cubes than to try to like, take out a bunch of random stuff in the middle of the airport. So I love packing cubes. I don't know if any of you are packing cubes fans, but that is for sure one of my favorite things. Debbie says they used to always include coffee makers, but not anymore. Yeah, a lot of hotels do not include coffee makers. And a lot of people don't even want to use the hotel coffee makers because they're not sure, like, when were they clean last? You just never know. So, okay. So those are my favorite travel items. Let me know if you guys use any of those. Again, there's a 16-pack travel bottle set. Awesome for any kind of travel. My mini Keurig I love, and then the packing cubes. I have both. I have the blue or the red. I also have a set of light blue. I also have some Hello Kitty ones, which aren't here, but I do have some Hello Kitty ones as well. All right, next category. By the way, if you joined us late, welcome, welcome. We're doing Katie's favorite things. I've talked about tech tools. I've talked about books. We've talked about going offline, travel. Okay, I've got 3 categories left as we go through this. Again, everything can be found at amazon.com/shop/Katie Lance. And when you go to that link, you'll see 2024 Katie's favorite things. That's where you'll see all this stuff. But then if you want to go back, you can also see my list from 2023 or 2022 or 2021. You can see each year that we've done. Yeah, Debbie, the packing cubes are so helpful. I use them. I don't care if it's a weekend trip. I don't care if I'm away for 2 days for a speaking gig. I don't care if it's a 2-week vacation. Like, I also find that packing cubes are helpful when you get to your location, right? So imagine you've been traveling all day, you get to the location. I like to unpack. I don't like to live out of a suitcase. So when you have a packing cube, you just take it out and you can just put the packing cube right in your drawer, or it just makes it easier. It just makes it so much easier, I think, to travel and just be more compact with stuff. So, okay, the next category is comfort. Okay, I'm all about comfort 2025. Comfort, my friends. I've got 3 things that are my favorite things that I am loving right now. Okay, the first are these leggings. And I'm sure there's some people who don't wear leggings who might be laughing at this. I did not wear leggings a whole lot until I found these leggings. This is the Show Witty, I don't know if I'm saying this right, 3-pack of leggings with pockets, because your girl needs pockets. These are so comfortable. I had to look down to see if I'm wearing them right now. I'm actually not wearing them right now. I keep wearing them every day. They're so comfy. They keep you warm. They look great. You can like wear a cute top if you're going out. You can use them for working out. You can use them for taking a walk. They're just like super like buttery soft and comfy. I feel like I'm on QVC right now selling, but they're like fantastic. And you get a pack of 3, which is awesome. So those are like lately one of my favorite things, especially if you live in a cold area. It's been cold in California. Don't judge. It's been kind of cold. So the leggings have been a game changer. Okay. Also for comfort, Hoka's. I don't know if any of you are Hoka fans. I got turned on to Hoka this year. I've been doing a lot more walking in 2024, 2023, 2024. I've been doing a lot more walking, and I'm all about comfort. And so these are not the cheapest on the market, obviously, but they're really great quality. I really like them, number one, for walking, but also I will be honest with you, this is the exact pair that I wore for like 4 days straight at our mastermind in Vegas. I was on my feet the whole time, and I made the conscious decision. I told Paul, I said, look, I am not going to wear the cute shoes. I have done the cute shoes in the past. And then you know what ends up happening when you're on your feet for 4 or 5 days straight? You are dying, right? And it's like, I'm done with that. So I wore comfy tennies the whole time. I was a happy camper. And so, yeah, I'm a huge Hoka fan. I think I have 2 pairs. This black pair I included on here because this was the exact pair that I wore for my mastermind. I purposely bought it because it was all black, like black soles and black on top. But I also have some really fun, colorful ones that I use like just when I'm out and about. And then the last thing on here are Uggs. I am a huge Uggs fan, especially for slippers. There's nothing like cozy Uggs. I know there's like the fake Uggs. I had the fake Uggs for a long time, but like I love a cozy Ugg, especially just being at home and relaxing. Super fun. So those are 3 of my favorites. Let me know if you're a Hoka person or an Ugg person or a legging person, whatever. I had to include this for comfort because I just think life's too short to not be comfortable. Right? Gone are the days of like wearing stuff that's uncomfortable, which is the key. All right. So we've talked about tech, we've talked about travel, we've talked about books, we've talked about going offline, comfort. I've got 2 more categories left. 2 more categories left. Are we ready? Are we having fun? Woohoo! I'm channeling my inner Mariah Carey. All right, two categories left. The next one is beauty. All right, I've got a beauty category, and I've got 3 things. I'm gonna see if I have these here right in front of me. Okay, my last 2 categories are beauty and fun. Okay, so 3 things. You guys are gonna laugh. If you're not into this stuff, just hang with me. But it's fun. Okay, this first one is this little brow pencil thing. I am not a brow gal. I hate having to deal with my brows. My brows are typically really, really light. But what I love about this is it's like this little teeny tiny wand that you just like brush on. And it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So if you ever are like, I want to do something with my eyebrows and you don't want to take a whole lot of time, I highly recommend this. I'm not a beauty influencer by any means, but this has become one of my favorite things. Again, like my brows are like really light naturally, and because my hair is darker, I wanted to, kind of match. So, anyways, here we go. Okay. Men or women, either one, this is great. Secondly, I am not ready to go gray. I probably could. I go get my hair done every like 4 or 5 weeks, but in between, we need a little touch up. And so I have found this little product. I actually found it on Instagram, but it is available on Amazon. It's called the Boldify hairline powder. And if you know, like you could buy like the little root sprays if you want, but those little sprays tend to get everywhere and they're really messy. So this thing is pretty fantastic. You just open it up and then there's a little dabber right here and you just dab and then you can kind of like dab your hairline or wherever you would like. So if you need to, extend your visit to the hair salon because your grays are coming in, this comes in all different shades and it is awesome. So I want to recommend that. The third thing that is on my list, and I don't know how to pronounce it right. I think it's Laniage, although I could be saying it wrong. I was turned on to this product a few years ago, and this is actually a 6-pack. You don't have to buy the 6-pack, but it's called a lip mask. And it's basically like, I don't know about you guys, but in the dry weather when it's cold, I'm always like searching for chapsticks. Like my lips are always dry. This is really fantastic. And basically you just like put a little bit, on your finger, put it on, and you could put this on overnight if you want. It is a lip mask. So a lot of times I'll put this on overnight, but honestly, sometimes I just put it on during the day too. And it's like a shiny little lip gloss. And what I like about these is they come in different flavors. Like this one is watermelon pop. This little kit right here has like orange, grape, I think pineapple is one of them. They're just super yummy and they're teeny tiny. So this little 6-pack, I have like one on my desk and one in my purse and one on my nightstand. So cute little stocking stuffer thingies. All right. I'm just looking at the chat here. My mom's tuning in. Hi, Mom. I gave you a shout out earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but thanks for tuning in. Joanne says the Benefit Gimme Brow has been my favorite for years. Yes. Oh, good, Joanne. You have good brows. So I love that you said that because I have admired your brows from afar. And yes, this little Gimme Brow thing is awesome. Yeah, you just awesome. I love it. Debbie says, haven't bought these yet, but I have foot problems, so need to look at those. Yeah, with the Hokas, definitely look into them. The Hokas are a little bit more expensive, but they offer really good stability. And I'll go back one slide if you guys missed that. Rose says, I like the leggings and the Hokas. Yeah, for sure. Sarah says, I love comfort. Yes. Sarah says, I just bought my first Hokas to train for a Utah hike. Yeah, for sure. Yep, it's like walking on a cloud, Maria. Or Marie, excuse me. Yeah. So love it. Okay. So again, we've talked about tech stuff. We've talked about books. We've talked about going offline, travel, comfort. And again, this whole list, if you joined us late, is on my Amazon, amazon.com/shop/Katie Lance. Yeah, Helen's are an outstanding shoe. They really, really are. I know. I also love Skechers. I wear Skechers a lot, but like for just that stability, like stability with your ankles. Yeah, I've just been a big Hoka fan. So now I have two. Okay, so now we've got beauty stuff. We got the Gimme Brow, got the hair stuff, and got the lip mask. Love that. All right, last category. I have just a couple last things, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Fun. We can't talk about Katie's favorite things and not talk about fun. So you guys know I love coffee cups. I probably have 100+ coffee cups. If you know, you know. I share my coffee just about every day over on my Instagram stories. And I have on this, so I love the Ray Dunn mugs, and I have it on the screen here. Ray Dunn. This is just an example of one that I love, but I love these mugs because they are ginormous. Like when I make a cup of coffee in my Ninja, I will set this to like 18 ounces or something, and it's still not full. This is like a couple cups of coffee in one, and they're super cute. I have some for like each season. So that's one of my favorite. I just think they're fun and they're great quality and they're heavy duty and they're ginormous for a big cup of coffee. So that's always fun. The second and third thing, I had to include Hello Kitty. If you know, you know. I'm a huge Hello Kitty fan. Don't mind the street sweepers. They're going by my house right now. So I included two Hello Kitty things. Okay, the first is Time Magazine put a Hello Kitty on its cover. 50th birthday. Today is Hello Kitty's 50th birthday. And I'm often asked, why do you love Hello Kitty? I think I love Hello Kitty because I'm a girl of the 70s. I was born in 75. I'm a Gen Xer. I always remember, I don't know if my mom's still on here, but I remember going to the mall, going to the Sanrio store when I was little. Did you guys have the Sanrio store where you guys are? Let me know in the chat, yes or no, if you ever went to the Sanrio store when you were a kid. I remember going to the Sanrio store. I used to love to look at all the little things, the little trinkets. And I would remember you would go to the store and you'd buy something and they would put it in like a little paper bag. They would tape it and then they put like a little treat on the outside. And I don't know, I think it always stuck with me. Plus, I'm in a house of boys, right? I, I've got a husband, I've got two sons. My two cats are boys or male cats. So I love this. And I put this on here because this is, if you are a Hello Kitty person like me, this is just a really fun thing. It talks a lot about the history of Hello Kitty and like just lots of fun stuff. So it's one of my favorite things. And then the other thing that I love about Hello Kitty is my AirPod case. And my exact AirPod case is not on Amazon right now, but I put one that's very similar. This brand called Sonics. I love my phone cover is Hello Kitty through Sonics. My little AirPod cover. I'm an AirPod gal. I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you guys are an AirPod person, but I was AirPod resistant forever. And then I got AirPods and I was like, where have I been? Like, where have I been? Like, I use my AirPods all the time, all the time. And our family uses AirPods all the time, right? I feel like everyone's walking around, everyone's got like one AirPod in their ear. I use it when I'm working out. I use it when I'm taking a walk. I use it when I'm just around the house. I use it on phone calls. I often use it when I'm doing a Zoom. Like, it's awesome. And I love this particular case, first of all, because it's Hello Kitty. But if you go to my Amazon shop and you click through, there's a lot of other different styles. Like there's like strawberry shortcake and there's other fun ones if you're not a Hello Kitty person. I also love that it has the little gold ring so you can put it on your keychain, or just like attach it to your bag or something fun, which is kind of cool. My mom says, I remember the Sanrio store. Yay. Hey, Courtney, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Joanne says, where do you store all your mugs? Oh my gosh. Okay. I probably need to do a video about this. So I'm looking over at my kitchen cabinets. We have a kitchen cabinet where I have 3 shelves for my mugs, which is a lot because we don't have a big house. So I have 3 shelves. But then in my other room, I have this other room I call my reading room because there's no TV in here. It's like a living room, but I call it my reading room. So in my reading room, which is this room behind me, I have this big hutch and I have giant baskets where I store more mugs. So don't judge, but I often will rotate. So what I'll do, this is kind of embarrassing that I'm admitting this, but so what I do is with my coffee, because I like to show my coffee cups on my stories, my Instagram stories, my Facebook stories. So I go through my mugs and when I've used the mug, like I've washed it, I turn it upside down. So I know that I've already used that mug. When all the mugs are upside down, I know it's time to swap them out. So then I take all those out of my cabinet, go into my reading room, grab my baskets of other mugs, take those mugs out, put them in the cabinet, and I do a big swap. So it's probably not the best system. I've thought about getting a hutch or something fun. But I probably have, I don't know. I haven't counted them recently. Probably at least 100 if I really had to be honest, but I love them. I feel like I collect mugs similar to like how people collect ornaments or you go somewhere like I'll go to a Broadway show that I love and I'm like, oh, I want to get a mug, right? So anyways, and honestly, we collect ornaments also. So that's a whole other story. Let's see here. I'm just looking at the chat really fast. Joe says, I bought my first Apple AirPods still in the box. Time to open the box. Joe, time to open the box. Yes. I was the same way. I can't remember how long ago I got my AirPods. I've gone through a few different things with the AirPods. I've gone through a few different generations. I've also lost my AirPods. That's the other thing. These are easy to lose on an airplane. They are easy to fall out of your pocket. So just like be careful. They're tiny. I am also super guilty of like going, where are my AirPods? And if you have an iPhone, you can use the Find My iPhone tool or Find My AirPods, and it'll beep a signal. Like it'll be like, your AirPods are in the house, and then it'll go beep 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 beep, and I'm always like, where are they? Where are they? So I use that often when I'm like, I don't know where I put them last. So my other rule for tech is have a home for everything. So like have a home where your AirPods go. Have a home where like your phone goes. Like that's kind of my rule that I try to do. Okay, the other fun thing, you guys are gonna laugh. This is fun for adults or kids, is this little fidget toy. So look at this. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can show you this full screen. I bought this for Luke for his birthday. Well, okay, I actually bought one for myself, and then he played with it all the time. And so then I bought him this little 2-pack. And all it is, you remember those keyboards where you like It's very satisfying. So if you are looking for a good little fidget toy and you love that sound, I don't know if you can hear that. It's like a fun little fidget toy. So it's kind of my fun thing. I have a couple little fidget toys on my desk that sometimes I like to just sort of fiddle around with. Um, I love little toys. I don't know if you guys knew this, but way back in the day, I used to work at a toy store. So I love toys. And I think to this day, I'm still kind of a kid at heart, which is probably why I love Hello Kitty still. So, anyways, this is just kind of a fun little, it's a great little stocking stuffer for an adult, for a teen, for anybody. And I included it on the list because it's just fun, right? It's just fun. And when you this one right here, it's by I don't even know how to say that Zia Han. It's two pieces keyboard fidget toy for adults or kids. So it's fun. You get a clear one and a black one. Yeah, it's super cute. Lisa says I just got the AirPods Pro and they're a nice upgrade from the original. Yeah, mine are the AirPods Pro also. I've gone through a couple because I think I've actually lost two pairs on airplanes. Definitely one pair. I don't think a second pair. But yeah, I think I have the AirPods Pro also. Okay, so what is next? All right, we've covered quite a bit. And I want to just point out, hold on, I'm looking at my list here, make sure I've covered everything. Okay, I've got a couple last things and then we're going to wrap it up. I just want to point out really quick. Let me go to my other screen to just show you really quick. If you go to that Amazon link, I can drop this link in the chat. This is what it's going to look like if you go to this link. So this Amazon link, it's going to take you to this page and you can see, here's my favorite thing is from the, it's like since 2020. And you could click on this 2024 right there. And then that'll take you to the full list. So I'm trying to multitask and show you this. So you can click through and see everything that I have covered right there. And you can even go back and see stuff from previous years if you want. So let me put that link in the chat for you guys right there. And if you just go to amazon.com/KatieLance, you can check that out. Okay. Last couple things before we get to the end here today. Shameless plug. One of my favorite things also is our Get Social Smart Academy. So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't at least mention our awesome Academy family, who I absolutely love. So many of them are here on the broadcast today. If you are part of our Academy family, say hi, say yes, say I'm in the Academy below. I absolutely love our Academy family. We've been running our Academy for about 10 years now. And as a lot of you know, we are doing our big end of year sale. So if you have considered working with us, we would love to have you part of our Academy family. You can sign up monthly or yearly. It's our lowest prices of the year. It's normally $97 a month or $970 for the year. And we've got our big sale right now. It's only $47 a month or $470 for the year. And that locks you in to that price for as long as you're a member. And then as a member, you get access to my weekly live training. I do Coffee with Katie, which is kind of like this each and every week. We do training every week. We do master classes throughout the month and we have content calendars. And it's an awesome community. So just wanted to mention that really quick. You can go to KatieLance.com/academy to check that out. Yes, Carol's in our academy. Debbie, Holly, Joanne. Yes, I love it. Sarah, Cheryl, Linda. Just finished my first year. Katie Lance is 110% or more fabulous. Oh, you are awesome. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. So yeah, the link to that is just KatieLance.com/academy. Let me see if I can grab a link to that real quick too, just so you guys have that in the chat. And let's see if I can do this real quick. Multitask here. So KatieLance.com/academy. And when you go to this page, by the way, it's going to give you the whole scoop. So if you're curious about like what's included and the pricing and all that good stuff, it's all right there. Okay. All right. Let me go back to my last thing and then we're going to wrap it up. All right. Last thing. So first of all, thank you so much for being here today. This has been so much fun. I always love hosting Katie's Favorite Things. If you missed the beginning, as soon as I go off the air, usually it takes a little bit, but the recording will be up. So if you missed the beginning, you have to watch the beginning so you can hear my Oprah story. I share my little Oprah story in the beginning, but would love to connect with you guys. I know some of you might be driving. So if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're not driving and we're not yet connected, especially over on Instagram, I'm on Facebook quite a bit. Obviously, I'm streaming live here on Facebook, but I'm also super active on Instagram. So if we're not yet connected, do me a favor, take out your phone, scan the QR code, give me a follow. And I have up here a little graphic. I posted this a day or two ago, so I thought you guys might want to check that out. I have some other my favorite things up. This is actually a template that is available inside of our Get Social Smart Academy, and it's so fun. Just before I went live, I was checking our Academy Facebook group, and we had one of our members, Beth. I don't know if she's watching. Beth said, I used this template, and she got so much engagement. It reached like, I don't know, 50% of the people it reached were not following her. So it's really kind of cool sometimes when you use a template or you use something that like, gets a lot of traction. And this is like a really simple type of post. If you're looking for really something simple to post this week, this is just a fun thing. So my favorite things includes obviously coffee, Hello Kitty, my cat. The cat's never made an appearance this whole time. They're probably taking a nap. White Christmas, which I got to see at the movie theater a couple nights ago with Paul and my parents. Amazing. Our decorations, you can see there's also a picture there from our first Christmas with my handmade ornament, our family getting our tree. You can see the picture there of our house, our outside decorations. So anyways, let's connect. Let's connect over on the gram or here on Facebook. You can find the complete list of Katie's favorite things at amazon.com/shop/Katie Lance. You can check out our Get Social Smart Academy and find out how you can work with me at katielance.com/academy. And as we get to the end here, I just really want to say thank you to all of you. I am so grateful for our community. You guys are amazing. I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do each and every day. And I can't wait for next year. It's going to be an awesome year ahead. Lots of exciting things in the works, and I'm just super thrilled that you're here with us today. So let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy this? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. If you had fun, if you enjoyed it, let me know. Let me know what was one of your favorite things out of my favorite things here today. I'm going to go back to the comments later, and it's always fun to hear your feedback and see what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you check your notifications. That way you can always get notified when we have new stuff come up. The other thing I'll mention is we share a lot through our email newsletter too. Like I said, social media is rented ground. We don't own it. So if you feel like, gosh, I don't always see Katie's stuff, we have a lot of different training and a lot of different free resources that we share on our email list. So if you're not getting our emails, go to katielance.com, sign up on our email newsletter. And maybe if you signed up for our emails a long time ago and you're like, I never see your emails, check your junk or spam. Sometimes our emails get thrown into there. So anyways, all right, my friends, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy holidays to all of you. Happy New Year. I'm just looking at the chat here. Oh, thank you so much, Carol and Joanne, Diane, Debbie. Thank you guys. Thank you, my friends. All right. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you holiday wishes. Have a happy holidays. Have a happy new year. And we will see you real soon. And let me know if you ordered me these favorite things, let me know. I would love to see you too. All right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.